Ha, 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 ha. So I was in the fabric workshop and museum gift shop on Thursday, and 5 feet away from me was Laurie Anderson. And if you don't know who Laurie Anderson is, you should look her up. She's a musician, and she did intense things with digital stuff way before it became easy. And she really is a storyteller, and she tells true stories. I mean, they're condensed and aestheticized, like all stories are once we come on stage, but they're true stories. And I'm trying to perform this first bit in a Laurie Anderson kind of way. You know, because when Laurie Anderson tells her stories, it's all about the pauses, about the way her mouth shapes the words, about the way it speeds up and then it slows down. And it's just a little off-kilter, but it's somehow not so off-kilter that you can't pay attention. Because normally I perform kind of like this. I mean, this southern accent isn't fake, mind you. I just got teased out of my southern accent by a bunch of assholes in a college town in Florida. But anyways, and normally I tend to talk to the audience. Do you know Laurie Anderson? Have you ever seen her perform? Wouldn't you like to lick the sweat off the back of her neck after she got done one night? I know I would. I know I would. But that's for a 10-minute story, not a 5-minute story. I have to get back to my story. Back to my story where Laurie Anderson was 5 feet away from me. And I wanted to go talk to her, but I couldn't. So I turned to the clerk and I said, "That's Laurie Anderson." And she was surprised that I knew who Laurie Anderson was. I was looking sort of middle-aged schlubby because I'm a tourist and it was sort of hot. And while I resent not looking arty, I choose comfy over arty anytime it's 100 degrees out. So I buy my cards and I screw up my courage, but Laurie Anderson is already in the midst of a bunch of meet and greet official things. Turns out she's going to be working with the Fabric Workshop and Museum this fall. So if you live here, which I don't, you should check out whatever she does. So I do the next best thing, which is that I go outside and I text my friend Franklin. Franklin has had an art crush on Laurie Anderson since he was 18. And since he's almost 45, this is a long-term art crush. He texts back, "Wow." Now the reason this is a small world story is that I had Laurie Anderson on my lap for about 1,000 miles the day before. I know you don't believe me, but I had this coffee table book done by Rosalie Goldberg, who's kind of a critic historian of performance art, and it belongs to Franklin, and I was returning it to him. And I didn't want it to get dinged up, so I carried Laurie Anderson from Gainesville, Florida to Charlotte, North Carolina. Laurie Anderson sat with me while I drank coffee-flavored water in the airport, waiting for the next plane to Philly. Then Laurie Anderson and I rode the train from the airport to the 30th Street station. Laurie Anderson rode in my lap for like 1,000 miles. Franklin and I now have a running joke that he should just take this anytime he travels. It would be sort of a talisman. You know, sort of like you could rub it like a bottle and the genie of Laurie Anderson would come out. Or he could flap the book flaps together in a sort of Dorothy, "There's no one like Laurie Anderson. There's no one like Laurie Anderson." Laurie Anderson was in my lap for 1,000 miles. And the next day, I almost, not quite, met her. Ha, 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 ha.